had this opportunity when I was younger. And he will reply, but you were young a long time ago, weren't you? And she won't respond, although what he implies makes perfect sense, that society's needs would have changed since she was 16. But she will ignore him, grip his hand more sternly, then drag him to the car. But what she doesn't know is that she didn't ignore him just to shut him up. She didn't lie because they were just returning from parents' evening and an argument in the hallway would look bad on her resume. She won't lie because she just spent the last 1 hour convincing a stern-faced teacher that she will ensure that her child studies more at home. No, she will lie simply because she does not know any better herself. Although her whole adult life, she has never used or applied Pythagoras' theorem
Right, bring that here.
And still does not know the value of X. She will rely on society to tell her that her child, who has one of the sharpest...
What's this?
Suli Breaks, sir.
Hyperactive, unfocused, easily distracted and wayward. Students, how many equations, subjects and dates did you memorize just before an exam never to use again? How many A grades did you get which were never asked for when you applied for a job? Because the purpose of why I hate school but love education was not to initiate a worldwide debate, but to let them know that whether 72 or 88, 44 or 68, we will not let exam results decide our fate. Peace.
Right now, there is a kid with no parents even, whose life still has meaning because despite being a student in a class with more than 40 others like him, his life can still begin again every time this woman walks in, and without textbooks, desks, or a blackboard even, she begins teaching, reminding him of how the grandmother who's raising him will tell him things while his eyes wonder why, like how we never had this opportunity when we were young. And he says nothing, because history lessons have taught him something about how the type of tests might change, but the challenges remain, and that facts and figures and fate are not the same. And it's no lie that he can control facts and figures, but he can't control fate. And it's no lie that fate will always be subject to random facts, but figures from facts he can create and navigate, just like he's been taught to. So even though they've never had to use Pythagoras' theorem, you can still see them using the language of maths to manage life's tangles with the problem-solving power that reveals all the right angles. And they might never know the value of X, but they can learn how real value is far more complex, and the sharpest mind can always find discipline, focus, and direction. Students, how many times have you been told that you can do better, that you are capable of more? By parents and teachers who believe in you, sit you down, work with you, show you the score, and open the door. Because despite how big businesses are looking for the highest grades, your teachers want to walk with you on roads that you've paved. And how being qualified for a particular job does not mean higher learning, because studying is not about how much cash you might one day be earning. If you think test scores, trials, and exams decide your fate, then for you, life's potential could never have been that great. So some who felt dumb because they couldn't master a few sums could still find fresh opportunity by studying philosophy and discovering the definition of words like tenacity and understanding irony. Like learning that Shakespeare spoke some slang, that's clear, but to appreciate that, first you had to study original school Shakespeare. Now you understand irony. Exams are a way of working out a kind of worth, but students who are working will always be worth more than exams, because tests are the tiniest part of the most minuscule molecule of society survival school. And society might be untrustworthy at times, but society is made up of your and my minds. So whatever we're selling, preaching, or teaching, undercover you see we're subliminally only trying to sucker one another. The same society that sets up tests for the young is the same one that the real resistance has sprung from. Now you're understanding irony. If you think that Miss Jefferson was teaching you that exams would keep you safe and sound as one of the sheep and part of the flock, and that she was bent on leading you blindly so that you might have Miss Jefferson's herd, then take Jefferson out of the equation and realize that you might have misheard, because misheard your questions and applied herself to offering the answers while you thought exams were the main act and teachers are just some backup dancers. And all it took was you to raise a fist with a clenched grip and only your index finger raised in extension to ask a question. Yeah, now you're feeling righteous, like what right have I to write this and recite this? Well, I tell you, despite this, you could have figured it out yourself. Yes, all of this knowledge is in you, that if you think that it's all about D's and A's, then you're just slaves to a symbol. Cause tests are never as simple as numbers and marks. That's like saying fire is only as simple as ashes and sparks. A grade is more than just a teacher getting paid. Its true victory is more than just a game being played. So, this is for my teachers who test you to train you, for that subject examiner trying to build your mental stamina, for those students who guess before they Google, then Google what they guess, who use dictionaries to discover the definition of destiny and dream, who type a whole sheet before they summarize it into a tweet, who know that the weight of the world isn't measured in Instagrams, who Facebook about the latest book they've faced, the ones who are sharp enough to see tests for what they are, tools for training a love for logic, for building the stamina to study, the desire to define the details, to break down the questions into more answers to question, to decode media before getting cozy enough with it to let it become so social. You might be thinking that all this is fine, but you don't like some of the lines, and you might be questioning the rhyme and why I didn't take more time. And you might be thinking that this piece did nothing but bore me, but hopefully your next thought will be to never let a YouTube video do all my thinking for me.